quiet, please. Oh my God, shh. Film's about to start.
Hello world, welcome to Drew's Reviews. In today's film, I'll be discussing Hans Zimmer and Friends' Diamond in the Desert. It's a 2025 concert film directed by Paul Dugdale that showcases composer Hans Zimmer performing some of his most renowned compositions. The film features live renditions of scores from films such as Dune, Gladiator, Interstellar, The Lion King, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Dark Knight trilogy. In addition to these performances, the film includes interviews with Zimmer's collaborators, including Billie Eilish and Phineas, Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, Tanya Leponte, Jerry Bruckheimer, Johnny Marr, Pharrell Williams, Timothée Chalamet, and Zendaya, offering insights into his creative process and collaborations. I love music. I have since I can remember. I love the art form. I think it's the best art form out there. I love all types of music. I listen to almost everything. So when I was younger and I found out that I can listen to some of my favorite scores and music from movies that I watch, I thought that was the best thing ever. And I've been into listening to different scores from different films, not just popular pop songs that they use in movies, but the actual scores that are made by these incredible composers. I just love the instruments that make a huge difference on how you feel about a scene, whether it be a horror or a funny part in a movie or a heartfelt moment.
This is my father's ducal signet. I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. Eruditina Heshidani, Nelisan Al-Gaim, Rui Dimenaruk, Ashiki, Nelisan Al-Gaim.
Just any of those things, and music just brings those emotions up, or it just brings the scenes across better, and I just love everything about music. So I've been a fan of Hans Zimmer for a good minute now, and when I found out that he was going to be composing Dune, I was like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. Definitely gotta check that movie out just from him composing it all together, especially after I found out what he's composed before. Big fan. And last year he did a concert and he came to my state, so I was really excited and I really wanted to go, but first it was very expensive, and then also just a lot of life stuff was going on, so I wasn't able to go.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. You're not really fine.
Super bummer. I really wanted to go. Anyway, I found out in December that he made a documentary or a movie, and I was ecstatic. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to see this concert anyway, and now I can see it in a movie theater for way cheaper seats.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And everybody's the happier. So going in to see this, I was very ecstatic, very excited, just couldn't wait to see the quote unquote live performances that was going on. You know, sometimes composers kind of mix it up a little bit, and I couldn't wait to see that. So this movie was amazing. Honestly, I can't wait until it comes out either on streaming or I can buy it on Blu-ray. I loved every second of it. The interviews, those conversations were amazing, but the interviews were shown in between different scores that he was playing. So a score for Pirates of the Caribbean, and then maybe another score from Interstellar, and then he would have an interview with Pharrell. And it was just amazing how he did that. He was just having these very intellectual conversations with the actors and directors and other people he's worked with and collaborated with, and the band was just incredible. The orchestra was incredible. The singers were incredible. I was just smiling from ear to ear, enjoying every single piece of it. I was humming some of the scores just because I've listened to them myself so many times, and I've watched the movie so many times, and the man is a genius to me. It's really incredible. I love hearing musicians and artists like this talk about their passions and why they do what they do, and it was wonderful. I would say if you can find it on anything, because they only showed it for a short time in theaters, if you can find it on anything, definitely check it out. I know most people have seen some of the movies that he's made, just like The Lion King, and him talking about the backstory of why he did The Lion King was incredible. And I have no negatives on this at all whatsoever. This is just purely me, very positive about this, and I was sold from the beginning. I knew it was going to be great, but just as a film perspective on how Paul Dugdale shot the concert and mixed it with the interviews and everything, just from that standpoint, it was amazing how they mixed it, and the camera angles, and along with the music, and they set the atmosphere, and it was a mixture of like them live on stage and then them also on like a sound stage, and they all dressed up in like different outfits. Especially like one part would be they're all dressed up in different garb from Gladiator, and they're playing the instruments in that garb, and there's sand and, you know, different things looking like the time in Rome back then. And yeah, it's not a lot I can say, because then I'll just be rambling on and on about how amazing he was. And I can say I've never seen a composer be so interactive like this before. I've seen other composers do a live performance touring and everything. I've never seen one so interactive like he was. I mean, he was going out on stage. Guy is definitely kind of a metalhead, if I can say. You can definitely tell he's really in the music and he wants to play it himself as well and be a part of that experience with the band, which felt like a family on stage. You could tell they're all so tight-knit and knew exactly what they were doing, and you could tell all of them loved what they were doing. It was an amazing experience, and one of the best parts in it was this guitarist. I'm not sure what his name was, but he might be one of the best guitarists I've ever seen and heard in my life, and I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to give Hans Zimmer and Friends Diamond in the Desert a 10 out of 10. Excellent film. Definitely check it out. Thank you for tuning in to my review of Hans Zimmer and Friends Diamond in the Desert. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I would love to hear your feedback. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.